So there's talking about the long-standing agenda, right? Long-standing agenda, right? It's kind of like a fulfilling, self-fulfilling prophecy. But anyhow, there is an agenda. Remember, there was a one world thing, right? The one world religion thing, right? That was on the agenda, right? And then apparently Christians came undercover, right, to try to change that agenda, right? Because of their belief in I actually support only one world religion now, which is Islam. But I actually say that Vedics could be included in that too. So it's Vedics and Muslims really could be among those, right? But nothing else, right? Because here what, right? That one world religion thing, right? It was supposed to be Islam, right? Now Allah said in the book that he can make the world into one religion, but he didn't, right? If he wills, right? So the Vedics is also a true path, and Islam is a true path. That's why I include both, right? So here what, right? When Christians come undercover, right, and they can't do it upright because they will get crushed, right? They know they had to fight people undercover. That's what they're doing. Right? They're trying to get people to bow to the British monarchy. They're not even trying to get people to bow to the CHRST figure anymore. That's how bad it gets. And they're trying people to bow to the British monarchy itself, to the guilds in the British monarchy itself, right? That's real sickening, right? That's real sickening, right? So it's not even the message of the Christ the way to bow to, and nobody died for my sins. It's not even the message of the Christ the way to bow to, and nobody died for my sins, right? But the way about to the boys and girls, the gay boys in the British monarchy and the girls in the British monarchy, right? So anyhow, this is to say about this long-standing agenda now, because this was the undercover agenda, because apparently the open agenda was to make the world into one religion, which was Islam. That was supposed to be it, right? And then the Christians now had a agenda behind that apparently, right? To bring back everybody into Christianity, right? Right? Because that is a real manipulative thing, right? So Christians now say, oh, they're gonna fight that, right? And let me bring back the world into Christianity now, right? And that is when they choose me, because they choose me to say, hey, let me choose she. She had the code as a CHRST figure, but little do you all know that even if I had that code, I'm not that figure, right? I had a code, but I can rewrite my code if I want to. I don't have to be all the code. I don't have to follow all the code. Right? I don't have to let the British monarchy write my story. Right? There's the whole point. And there's the whole point of telling people to detach from the British monarchy. Right? Because the British monarchy is who really have the control. Right? Other people, for example, elite Islam might have money and things. Right? Money, a lot of wealth, whatever. But Christianity and the British monarchy is what actually have had the power. Right? That is where the power lied in. Right? Lay in. The power, right? You don't have to have money to have power, right? You don't have to have money to have power. Power is different from money and finances, actually, right? Power had to do with people's perception about who is below and who is on top. Right? That's what power had to do with. And power had to be with you being subordinate to another person or somebody being superior to you. That's what power had to do with. And you don't even have to have no money to have power, right? That's how it is, right? So because of colonialism and thing, it was the British monarchy, right, that always held the power, because they who really, through power, destroyed every fucking body in the past, right? And that's why I'm advocating for everybody to withdraw the power from Christianity and from the British monarchy, right? That's how my thinking is with regard to the situation, right? That's where my thinking is, right? Because at the end of the day, they want to reinstate and sustain their control, and I don't like that. I personally don't like that, right? Because you're not allowed to control and to predestine people's life forever and ever. I mean, right? You're not allowed to do that, right? So this about this song. Remember that song, Maula Sali, the Prophet song, right? On Facebook, on YouTube, right? That all it is be thinking is a Muslim song, all it is be singing. Right? It's actually a Christian song. It's just an offshoot of a Christian song. Again, it's an offshoot of giving your heart to this, everybody giving their heart to this one person, which in Christian religion it would be the Christ, and nobody died for my sins, right? So that song, right, really is and true Muslims wouldn't accept that song, right? True Muslims don't accept that song, right? Because it's really the whole world giving your heart to a human being, which is the prophet, right? Which is in Christianity is the Christ, right? And then also it is of anybody died for my sins. Also it is about trying to make is a mockery of Islam by Christians using an Islam song, Understand what I'm saying, how deep this manipulation goes, right? The song, right, the Islam song, that particular song, is a mockery by Christians of Islam using Arabic and using the Islam religion to mock itself. Because Islam don't believe in entertainment and is a song, right? It is not only that, but the concept now, remember, it does have a line in that song that says that about placing the Islam religion, placing Islam among the stars, right? So who's considered a star in Christianity? Who's the star of Christianity? Who's the star of Christianity? Right? So when they talk about placing Islam among the stars now, right? What do you mean by that? You're placing Islam among pagan worship. So the Christians now using Islam and Arabic to mock Islam and Arabic, right? That is what you need to understand, and about that song in particular. Because I played before, since this event happened, I was listening to the song a lot, and I paid close attention to the song, right? So when I talk about placing Islam among the stars now, right? Now, it have a deeper interpretation where you can say, oh, you're rising Islam, right? Making Islam rise, mean, okay, right. You're helping Muslims to stop gossiping, stop doing wrong, keep them maintain the prayer, this and that. Right now, that different interpretation, right? But this is talking about it from a literal angle now, because both, right? Both need to be considered and talked about and discussed about what does all really truly mean and what's the agenda behind that song, right? What's the agenda behind that song, right? So when I talk about taking, and I'm talking about it from a literal angle, as in the visual object symbology, everything that's represented in the physical domain, right? For Christmas, you have a Christmas tree, a star on top, right? Who's the star of Christianity, right? That particular figure, right? So you're talking about taking Islam to the stars now, meaning bringing Islam back to Christianity. And hell fucking no, right? Hell no, right? Hell no, right? No. No is a no. Plain and simple is a no. Right? Is a no. Right? Is a no. Right? Is a no. Right? So that's what that song and the intention behind that song is. Right? So they choose me to be that Christian representative figure. Right? That is what I do. Right? And for me to lead all the Muslims back to Christianity like some fucking flocking sheep. Right? I'm not doing that. I don't want to control no Muslim, and I don't want to lead for sure. I'm not leading no Muslim back into Christianity. Right? No flipping way. No flipping way. We ain't going back, because 1400 years ago, if the religion come out, it come out because of a purpose. Right? And it come out because of a control, come out of a control. Right? So I'm leading back no Muslim into Christianity. Right? So that is what they wanted to choose me for. British monarchy, right? Play last minute coming, trying to be nice to colored people. Hey, you coming last minute, choose me as a colored person to be your CHRIST figure. No one died for my sins, right? To lead Muslims back into control, back into Christian control. No thanks. Right? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Right? Well, they had to be stupid. I'm not doing that. Right? Right? Then be like, there's a what? There's a what kind of cult against us? Please. Please, get flipping real. Get real. Right? There's a what kind of cult? I didn't write it in the book. What is I here? Right? I didn't write it in the book what is I here, but there's a what? Right? Or you should read the Quran. Right? So, there's just that. Just telling all you to watch what always be listening to, even the music, because sometimes the Christians just be using Islam and Arabic, right, to mock Muslims and mock Arabic and mock Islam. Right? Good.